Well, it's that time again where I throw my reputation as a stats guy on the absolute line and show how terrible I am at predicting the future. It's prediction season, and judging by last year, oh boy have I got a lot of work to do to try and claw back some respect on that front. Then again, I don't think everyone really covered themselves in glory last year, with a whole bunch of teams being very, very disappointing. So, without any further ado, let's get into my 2025 AFL predictions. Oh God. The recent flooding in North Queensland may have had something to do with all the bathwater Richmond needed to throw out with its babies. There's sacrificing your present for the future, and then there's nuking it. 2025 Richmond may well turn out to be one of the worst teams ever fielded in this league. No Rioli, no Graham, no Bolton means a loss of 80 goals in that forward line, which struggles to score as it is. Another injury to Tom Lynch, who has more goals than the rest of Richmond's current top 10 scorers combined, means Samson Ryan or Jacob Kazitsky now has to take the main toll. Oh dear. With an average of 54 games played and 24 goals scored, this side has similar or less experience than 2020 Adelaide, 2006 Carlton and 2011 Port, keeping in mind on average players are more experienced now than they were back then. This is just a crap lineup that isn't really that much younger than GWS on average, and the list is just built so much sloppier, with their 2 wins last year being not so much earned but stolen, and the list getting so much worse. There's every chance we could be on for a winless season here. The first one since, what, North back in 1954, as far as I can remember? But I think that they'll snatch a home win against West Coast and another against, I don't know, Essendon. Seems like the sort of thing that could happen. I don't think they'll go winless, but by God, they're a chance. Yeah, cool. You have Harley Reid. You also have no defence. No matter how good he is, Jeremy McGovern alone cannot save you. Yes, Baker, Graham and Owies are good additions. Are they the sort of players to boost this side back up the ladder the way that they need to? Not so much. And I can't see Waterman maintaining that kind of a season that he had last year. And while Allen is going to bring back goals on his return, the rest of the lineup is just such mediocre dross that I can't see them lifting big. Oh, and Dom Sheed's gone for the season. That's not going to help. Elliot Yeo's already hurt himself, which is ahead of schedule even for him. It's not really worth unpicking the rest of the list or even unpacking the gear for 2025. In fact, I can't really see this side going anywhere fast for the next couple of years. Sorry to the Stat Chat boys if you're watching.
So what do we mean by drought?
So the list hasn't improved from last year. You've lost experience pieces, even if one of those was Jake Kelly, and you've spack-filled the list with kits. Good luck. I mean, I knew the fans were likely to buy into the club's own bullshit hype, but I didn't think the recruitment team would. Bloody hell. Also, I see Brad Scott's evolved this time, determined to keep Old North players now, even if they're past their prime. I'll never forgive you for Boomer. Oh, God. There is a danger that with all the injuries at the start of the season, that the first few rounds are just going to pass them by, preventing them from getting to that fraudulently good opening they had last year. If that happens, I'm sorry, but it could be curtains by round 8. But that only means that the worst Scott brother gets the sack all the sooner. Always good fun. I really don't like him. Justice for Boomer.
Cooper Gretsch is an internet sensation.
Yes, I know, 2023 started with the Saints opening a hospital ward and they started 3-0. It won't happen this time. Yes, their jack stocks are the most powerful they've been in years, thanks to Jack McRae, but their injury hit start will, combined with their typical fall-off down the stretch, simply sink them further into the mire. They'll have to rely on their rookie crop, including young phenom Brad Crouch. The man taken in the GWS mini draft 12 years ago can be re-rookied. What a system. Getting rid of Tim Membry and Seb Ross just seems dumber and dumber each day, and look who might need Tom Campbell or Jack Hayes now. The Saints are done, and I think Ross's limelight is fading. He's done too. Look, I'm going to make several ridiculous wagers in this video because it's more fun for everyone if we have stakes, but this is the one I'm most confident in. St Kilda miss the finals. If somehow they don't, as penance, I will release the full Ross Lyon without me parody. It's going to be unpleasant for me if that happens, but it won't.
You've got no friends!
Replacing Lukosius with Himmelberg is like replacing a Mercedes with a bicycle. Seriously, thanks for taking him off our hands. Even though we got nothing in exchange, we still win that transaction. Noble and Rioli make great additions, but delisting Day and McPherson? Are you kidding? This imbalanced list, despite the super talented midfield it doesn't deserve, will snare a few scalps, but it'll judder its way to low to mid-table nothingness like each of its other 14 years in the league, probably once again losing their most exciting star. It's really not worth talking about these clowns any further. Do they dare hope? Do they dream of giants once more? The additions of Daniel and Parker are inspired, whilst Darling should play the second tall role Larkey so badly needs to take the attention off of him. Another year into Sheasel, McKercher, Dersma, Wardlaw and their fleet of young guys will lift this side to 8 or 9 wins and create a solid building block to go on with. Well, minus Wardlaw now. Oops. But there's something about this North lineup, though, that, to me at least, screams Bolter, and it's not just me currying favour with North fans before I shit on their post-1999 selves later on in the year. Maybe it's the 16 top 20 picks on this list. Maybe it's the 4-time Premiership coach that leads them. Maybe it's the new flag-winning additions. Maybe it's sentimentalism from making a massive documentary about these guys. Or maybe I'm just wrong, and they'll finish bottom 2 again. I don't think they will, but look, if they do, I will happily chow down on a kangaroo steak dinner. God, that sounds gross. Shai Bolton and Quinton Narkle being the biggest additions isn't exactly inspiring, and neither is an interrupted start for Hayden Young and Sean Darcy. Longmuir's side is built on its tough defence, but do they have enough improvement about them overall to get past all the other clubs around their level, though? I'm not sure. They're exciting at times, but the forward line's a mess. A rookie-listed Taberner, an ageing Walters, an anonymous Nat 5, and Sam Switkowski, the most on-and-off player in the league. Their under-23s just lack a certain something. Amos and Tracy have done well, yes, but very few others have come anywhere close, which for such a young list is very troubling. Still, at least they still have Sean Darcy there so that Kane Corns can yell at his contract instead of things that actually matter. Also, what's Oscar McDonald doing there? Seriously, you know what happened when he got delisted from Melbourne and Carlton? Yeah, that. Take the hint. Well, hopefully this should appease those Pies fans. Again, I'm not convinced by this team. And look, do I hate Carlton? I get that a lot? No. They really helped me out in filming at Princess Park that one time. Absolutely didn't have to do that, but they did. Super cool. Great organisation. Do I like seeing Carlton do well? No. Not with Coleman medals who milk free kicks or can't kick drop punts, circle where appropriate, or with a Brownlow winner who made a complete mockery of the voting system, or with a phalanx of Melbourne journos all aboard the Dick Suck Express. Kennedy and Owies being gone will hurt you more than you think, especially with Nick Newman gone for the whole year, which is a huge loss. Experienced depth has been sacrificed for youth, and the youth isn't really that good if their names aren't Hollands. No major ins as well. This side isn't behaving like a team in its premiership window, because it isn't. If they make the top 4, hell, I'll paint my face blue for the reactions video, on top of my usual milk-based Coleman wages. I really don't have a lot of faith in this team. I think it's genuinely one of the most overrated teams that I've ever seen. I'm just calling it like I see it.
Here's but a scratch. A scratch?
Can someone tell me what the hell this team is? All the talent in the world, and yet they butcher execution like pre-revolution France, notwithstanding almost getting their star mid killed due to medical incompetence, which is something I just cannot believe the AFL has pretty much let Melbourne get away with. I'm starting to think Simon Goodwin might not be the tactical mastermind that I thought. On their day, they're a top 4 side, but lately they haven't had enough of those days. Losing ANB is less than ideal. Having the biggest addition be Harry Sharp, less so. But a lot of chaff has been cut from the wheat. Only the best remains on Melbourne's list, right? Well, you've got superstars in Jake Melksham, Jack Billings, Ed Langdon, jeez. You know, outside the big 3, only one man, Stephen May, has earned an All-Australian blazer since their flag. That's 3 years. If this was a true star-studded lineup, you'd expect more than that. Only one other person has stood up. Look, Spargo, Sparrow, Bowie and Petty aren't kids anymore. They're 25, about to enter what should be their prime. This will be a telling year. Those guys will need to lift to get Melbourne in the 8. And I got a feeling they'll fail the test.
I have prepared a pie-in-the-face take.
No Mitchell, Nakos under an injury cloud, and Degoe might miss the opener. Not a great start, but Dan Houston's a big get. Shame they won't have him for the first few weeks. Wonder why. Fucking sniper. Their defence, when he's back, is now fixed. That's crucial. Pity the offence couldn't score 100 on a damn dartboard, but they've worked on that by getting Membry. Not sure if he'll be the saviour they need though, because this will be the oldest list by far in 2025, and indeed one of the oldest lists ever assembled. And they've got to start playing like it, not do whatever they did last year. Apologies to the many Collingwood fans that frequent the channel, but I've never been convinced by this side, and I feel they're going to cement their rep as the least talented Premiership side of the millennium. Yeah, including the 2016 dog side. At least they backed up with finals. In fact, I'm so confident that the Pies will miss the finals again that once more, I'm going to stake a custard pie being held at my face if I'm wrong.
You gotta give him that hock to it.
Hawthorn's weakness last year was they shipped too many goals in gluts at critical points. Enter Tom Barrass and Josh Battle, ready to lock down tolls and smalls alike. That Barrass trade was such a signal of intent, trading the future for the present in the most comprehensible way it's possible to do. I anticipate some regression as the fixture gets harder thanks to their good results last year and the weight of expectation gets heavier, but this side has the potential to make a deep September run. Sicily is still an elite star, and now he's joined in the blue chip group by Day, Newcombe and Lloyd Meek of all people. Who saw that coming? They're not underdogs anymore, and oh boy, that was a quick couple of years when they were. Look, last year I said I would buy in big if they were a stock. Hold on them. You might just see some big dividends. After all, Mitchell knows how to win premierships, but I wouldn't sell yet. There's still more upside to come, like D'Ambrosio, Ward, Weddle, Watson, Deer, Ginnivan and Day all start the season at 23 years old or younger, while last year showed they didn't need to rely on big production from Gunston and Bruce, although that may depend on how long Deer and Lewis are out for. And how good did Deer do in his first year as well? This squad's best is still ahead of them, but where they're at right now is damn scary. And they're fun to watch too.
Right in front of me!
It's time. The biggest underperformers of the last 2 years and one of the most disappointing teams of all time has to come good now. 6 years. Nixie has helmed the SS mediocrity for as long as Blight and Sanderson combined for not a single final. That ends now. This isn't a young list. Look, the next oldest side is damn Sydney, but this is a side that's managed to get 30 games or more into 10 starting calibre players under the age of 25 come round 1. That's huge. So's Riley Thilthorpe. He's the size of a damn house, and he's ready to tear defences to shreds. Walker's leaner and meaner. Fogarty, Rash, Keys, Rankin and company made a forward line that has to score 300 goals this year. That midfield with fresh and experienced additions has to start giving them proper supply, and Keane, Worrell and Michael Annie have come off career best years where they've developed greatly, and they're still young and ready to go. No excuses. I don't want to sound too like Arsenal fan TV, but if the Crows do not make finals this year, this club needs a full dismantle and Nixie has got to go!
Yeah, you're an embarrassment to what you do, mate.
For too long, this team's had no identity, skulked beneath the long grass. That time is over. They coped well without Smith last year, but McRae and Daniel have finally been cast out on ice floes to starving tribes. Beveridge has his wish. He now has ultimate control, a player group that is loyal. For now. Kennedy's a great pickup that plugs any hole. JUH and Darcy have arrived and make a combo with Norton that will last the Dogs for the next 10 years, assuming they can get Jar and Aaron back in good time. My only quarrel is that defence. Liam Jones has got to vaccinate that backline from leaking goals at crucial moments. Actually, no, he can't. Not for that reason, but because his vaccine-free, perfect, healthy body is broken. Poor bugger. So the real question is, while their defensive general is gone, can that defence prop up a good forward line and midfield this time? They have to.
We have not turned up in a final and played the way we wanted to.
Make a change in August, lose the prelim, land a big fish, make a change in August, lose the prelim. The Ken Hinkley perpetual motion machine is still in business, even if it's just for one more year only. The Power did land their biggest fish yet. Rory Sorry, I've done a couple of takes of this and I can't stop laughing each time. How this bug-eyed twerp still has a career, I have no clue. Of course, he was steak knives in the Jack Lukosius deal, which comes at just the right time as another Power tall goes down in the pre-season for the year. At least they can put Jez up front when he's not being more homophobic than a 2000s sitcom, thanks to the revelation that is Jordan Sweet in the ruck. Houston presents as a huge loss down back, already weakened due to the presence of Radaglia and Alia, whose fall-off really needs to be studied. This side, with the best midfield in the comp, as a Crows man, I hate to say it, but it's true, has the talent to go all the way. They need to, or else it might not be enough. Okay, I wrote that line before Hinkley was announcing that succession plan, and I was really proud of it, so I kept that in. But, yeah, another prelim final exit incoming. Way to cap off your legacy, Ken. The horse has gone off to the glue factory. Longmire is a figure that's hard to replace, so picking another tall who revolutionised the way his position was played is a natural step. The Swans put the success in succession plan with the horse, but he took over a floundering bunch of misfits. I think I've covered that one before. Cox, though, takes the helm of a Premiership contender, and I feel like he'll need time with it. Not to mention there was another embarrassing grand final capitulation to add to the pile, and there'll be mental scars to boot from that. They've lost Parker and haven't added strength to their weak-looking tall stocks. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, and Ben Patton as well. Yeah, he'll set the world on fire. I worry about this team. I see them starting very shakily. They've got a tough early draw and limping home on the back of Heaney, Papley and Goulden alone. Yeah, they might make top 4 if they really start strong, but I think that this will be a bit of a building year. Consolidation, 2026 is your year, Swans fans.
You're old! You're an old man!
Good to see businesses branching out, cotton on printing money as well as clothes. Bailey Smith, lowering the average age of both the club he leaves and the club he joins. A year out won't sour his sublime skill and explosiveness. He's their new Dangerfield, the old one stuck in a forward pocket complaining about the season being too long for him and all the other octogenarians in Geelong's retirement community. However, Blitzarves, Cameron and Stewart are showing the value of the old man. Hawkins isn't the big loss you'd think, while Dempsey, De Koning and Stengel are spruiking the benefits of Geelong's still remarkable youth development. This is an imperial machine that refuses to lose. The last time they missed the finals, Obama was still president. This year will be no different, and may I be pelted with eggs if I'm wrong. It's a Jez Cameron thing.
To the orange team.
Last year I didn't think they were ready. I thought they were a flash in the pan. They weren't either of those things. Now they strike. Peatling and Cumming are affordable losses. Stringer will help with the forward unit, which has the reigning Coleman medalist and Toby goddamn Green. Darcy Jones is the fastest man alive and yet might not even be the quickest giant, such as the speed of their counter-attack. And that backline is super solid thanks to Buckley and Idun, not to mention that midfield of Cogs, Green, Ward and now a quite experienced Briggs to feed them in ruck. This is the single most exciting team to watch in footy. Now they're good enough to consistently grab results. They'll make the prelims at least. If they don't, I'll cop an orange tsunami of my own. By that, I mean a bunch of Gatorade. I don't mean giving the G-man a hand job. Who have they lost? Harry Sharp? Didn't need him. Joe Danaher? Have Sam Day. Jared Lyons? They never used him right. Not to mention they get Kitty, Gardner, McCarthy and O'Day back from ACLs, Will Ashcroft gets a full pre-season under his belt, and they get another Ashcroft into the bargain. Oh, and they get their ruckman back, who they won a grand final without. Holy shit. They might start slow as half the lineup will have truncated pre-seasons thanks to injury returns, but they've already showed that even if they're nowhere after 13 rounds, they can still win the whole damn thing. It won't be a contest. Brisbane will take this easy. So, my Premiership winner is obviously Brisbane. Runner-up though, I'm feeling GWS. They'll do a 2019, make the big dance only to be overawed by an opponent who already knows what they're doing on Grand Final Day. And here's where it gets spicy, the medal winners. Last year I went a perfect 0 from 3, with 2 of my picks not even getting close. Here we go. I'll start with the Brownlow, and look, Marcus Bontempelli is the best midfielder in the league. He just is. However, as I've discussed, the medal is a complete joke, and being the best isn't a prerequisite anymore, so I'm rolling with Nick Dacos to win the Brownlow medal. Huge, imaginative, I know. Look, I'm mostly just doing this so I get the curse off Bontempelli's back. I want him to win it so badly because he deserves it. He can't not win one. I mean, he's going to make the Hall of Fame anyway, but it's the one thing missing from his cabinet. He's got to win it. But yeah, Dacos. I'll be so happy if he wins. The Coleman, though, is more open, and I'd like to discuss that now. The big chances. Hogan. I don't think he'll back up. He's too old and hasn't got the stamina. I don't want to pick either of the Carlton boys for reasons I said earlier. Waterman will regress. Neither of the Kings are consistent enough to generate a big tally. The Bulldogs and Adelaide don't really have forward lines that will generate one huge main goal kicker. They'll all steal off each other, and that really just leaves my pick from last year. A much improved team with a proper second forward to take the attention off from him will allow Nick Larkey to win a deserved Coleman medal with just outrageous and superior accuracy. Finally, the rising star, and oh god, I have no idea this year. I'm just going to stick with what I know and roll with the local boy, Dan Curtin. He reminds me of a few past winners, and I think his versatility is going to put him in good stead, not to mention the fact that he's just fucking huge. Archie Roberts strikes me as a smoky, but I don't quite have the confidence to go for him. But if he does win, I'm going to just insert a I told you so right here. So, once again, there's a few things I'm running as part of the channel, each with a $50 prize and no entry fee, so come and join in. And if one lucky bugger wins all 3, hell, I'll double the prize money, because that's just not going to happen. If it is, you are a god, and you have no business being a YouTube commenter. You should be worshipped by millions of people. Anyway, the Tipping League makes its return, of course, on ESPN Tipping, just like last year. A bonus point for a perfect round, 2 joker rounds, and a 0 if you don't show up and miss a week. Again, we will have a fantasy draft league on Supercoach. This time it's a bit different. I wanted 18 entrants last year. We didn't get it. I downsized to 10 and accidentally messed the league settings up. But now the channel's twice the size. Thank you all so much for that. So I reckon we can hit 20. We've already got 5 as I'm recording this, and I'm working on seeing if any other YouTubers are interested as well. So if, I don't know, Egg Footy or Rolls Mac happens to see this, come on and join us. The league code is just up on the screen, wherever that's going to be. I haven't decided yet. And in the description, the key date's the draft, Wednesday the 12th of March at 6:30 PM SA time. Finally, as per tradition, the Predictions Challenge. I've changed the point system a bit so the medal winners aren't worth as much and break the system as they normally do, and the Rising Star is worth half of that because it really doesn't matter as much. I really didn't like having those points be the same as the Brownlow or the Coleman. Those things actually matter and have sort of stakes. I'll flash the full point system and conditions behind me here, and I'm also doing something else which has no prizes, a bingo card. Here's the format: 1 square for each club in alphabetical order, with general league squares on the corners, state league squares on the pluses, whatever they're called, and a free space in the middle. I've tried to make all these guesses somewhat difficult and risky, not just Kerno scoring 1 goal or something. So we'll track that throughout the year, and that could be a bit of fun. If you want to do your own, feel free. There's no points or real dignitas to it, but shoot them to me on Twitter, and I'll display the best and worst in my end of year review, if that's something you want to do. Also, while I'm here, I might as well show you all the stupid wages I've made in this one, so you've all got receipts for my embarrassment. Otherwise, thank you all so much for the support on the channel. Get involved with all this stuff, and stay tuned. I'm hoping to pump out more and more varied content than ever before this year, so stick around for that, and I'll see you on the next one. I've really got to do an outro, have a catchphrase maybe. I don't know. Anyway, see you, bye. Thank you for watching. I'd like to give a shout out to my Patreon members whose help has made all of this even more possible. So thank you to Brian Shadowbuck, Cody Bibby, Jezza, M. Philpott, Cyric, Renegar, Seamus O'Dowd Clancy, Some Geek from Twitter, Temanuel Can Cant, Zach Dawson is my hero, Nathan Krauseratus, Phil Johnston, Tom Wilcox, P. Robin, Zia, and Waziam. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and I'll see the rest of you in the next video.